meals for two. Let your delicious dinner cook itself perfectly in just 10 minutes. New Steam Fresh Meals for Two, now in the frozen meals aisle.
It's a super blowout sale at Brand Smart USA. Save big now. Get a top-loading DVD player from Attack for $8.88. eText HDMI DVD player is just $28.88. A 7-inch portable DVD player from Kobe is $58.88. Casio's 8-megapixel digital camera with battery charger and case is $98.88. An 8-inch Sony portable DVD player is $128.88. And Canon's DVD camcorder with 41 times optical zoom is $268.88. Brand Smart USA, of course, your favorite brands at low, low prices.
Looking for a meal that fills you up but doesn't empty your wallet? Pollo Tropical's mouth-watering quarter chicken meal with any two of our delicious sides is only $3.99 for a limited time. Pollo Tropical. It's time to pollo.
JustNews.com has a lot more content, and it's easy to find on the web.
Welcome to World News. Tonight, President Obama makes the pitch for his economic stimulus to congressional Republicans. So far, it's a tough sell. Slip and slide. A massive storm leaves a coating of ice from the southern plains to the mid-Atlantic states. 8 is enough. For only the second time in U.S. history, a woman gives birth to octuplets, 8 babies. And the mother says she'll breastfeed them all. An easy living. There is a place where you can retire and enjoy the good life for a fraction of the cost.
From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Good evening. President Obama wants his economic stimulus package passed, and passed quickly. The new president also wants Republican support for the package. So today he went the extra mile and personally went to Capitol Hill to try and sell his plan to Republicans. He presents them with a problem. Do they support a popular new Democratic president who's proposing a massive $800 billion plan, or do they rise in opposition? Jake Tapper is at the White House again tonight. Jake?
Good evening, Charlie. Well, technically, President Obama does not need one single Republican vote when the House of Representatives votes on the stimulus package tomorrow, but President Obama promised the American people he would bring bipartisan solutions to the country's problems. So today he went from the White House to Capitol Hill to hear Republican ideas for the stimulus package.
President Obama walked confidently through the Capitol to talk with House Republicans about what they would like included in the $825 billion stimulus package.
Hello, everybody.
House Republicans complain Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Democratic leaders have taken few of their ideas into account.
We had an election which was about our differing views. The American people agreed with us.
But in an interview airing tomorrow on Good Morning America, House Republican leader John Boehner says he feels confident he can work with the president.
There's no political catfight going on here in Washington. There's a dialogue. I'm encouraged that the president is engaged in this dialogue.
Sources tell ABC News that in the closed-door meeting, the president mentioned recent layoffs by Caterpillar and Microsoft and said the American people need action now. I would love to not have to spend this money, the president said, but economists across the spectrum believe a stimulus bill necessary to avoid double-digit unemployment. Congressman Dave Camp of Michigan pushed for tax cuts that he said would move money into the economy more quickly, as opposed to a tax credit, some of which would go to low-wage earners who pay payroll but not income taxes. The president said this is simply a philosophical difference. Feel free to whack me over the head because I probably will not compromise on that part. Obama said, I think we can find some common ground on the tax side, but House Republicans left the meeting still largely opposed to it.
The only thing it will stimulate is more government and more debt, and the president heard that message today.
I don't expect 100% agreement from my Republican colleagues, but I do hope that we can all put politics aside and do the American people's business right now.
You're probably not going to get more than a dozen Republican votes tomorrow.
We'll take what we can get tomorrow. I think the most important thing about tomorrow is keeping this process going.
Charlie, the meeting that President Obama had with Senate Republicans was less lively, probably because the Senate is still drafting the bill, and it's there where the White House and Republicans are most confident they can add Republican provisions. As an example, in the Senate Appropriations Committee today, a piece of the stimulus package passed with 4 Republican Senate votes. Charlie?
Jake Tapper at the White House on a snow-covered White House lawn tonight. So, at the center of the president's program is hundreds of billions of dollars in new spending, but the Republicans want greater tax cuts. It's the classic argument between the political parties, but which would give greater stimulus to the economy. Betsy Stark joins us, and let's start with that question. Which gives greater stimulus? Is it spending or tax cuts?
Well, Charlie, in an economic crisis like this one, you probably need to do both. But President Obama wants to devote a larger share of it to spending programs. And he justified that today with this rule of thumb generally accepted by economists. Every dollar of spending produces $1.50 in stimulus. Every dollar in tax cuts produces 75 cents in stimulus. And the logic is a dollar devoted to a spending program produces jobs, which produces income, which produces new spending. A dollar devoted to a tax cut could be spent, but it could also be saved. So bigger bang for the buck with a spending program, but it takes longer to get into the economy.
Well, that's right. That's the Republican argument. The tax cuts, while they may not stimulate the economy as much, do get in to the economy faster because there's less withholding in people's paychecks.
Yeah, well, time is of the essence here. Unemployment's rising, consumers aren't spending, businesses aren't spending, and theoretically, if Congress does decide to lower federal withholding taxes, for example, that could get into your paycheck immediately. So that's a very important consideration here. Time.
All right, Betsy Stark reporting again tonight. Well, the Attorney General of New York issued a subpoena today to the former CEO of Merrill Lynch. Just before that investment firm was sold late last year, $4 billion in bonuses were handed out to top Merrill Lynch officials. This investigation into why those bonuses were handed out comes on the heels of growing public anger aimed at banks, which received massive infusions of taxpayer money. Here's ABC's David Muir.
If Merrill Lynch lost $27 billion last year, why did its outgoing CEO dole out $4 billion in bonuses anyway? That's precisely the question New York's Attorney General is now asking of John Thain, the outgoing CEO who reportedly paid out the money just before his failing financial giant was bought out by Bank of America.
They just don't get it yet. These are hard times in the United States of America. People are losing their pensions. People are losing their investments.
Thain has now resigned from his new position given to him after the merger, amid growing questions about those bonuses. After all, his bank lost $15 billion in just the fourth quarter.
I think there's been a horrible sort of disconnect between the way people think in the boardroom and the way they actually, and frankly, the way the public thinks. There's been a tin ear as to how the public is really looking at them.
Just today, Citigroup, which received $45 billion in taxpayer money, buckled under public pressure, even pressure from President Obama, decided to give up plans to buy a $50 million corporate jet. And today, the new Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner, said that he will now crack down on lobbying, all that pressure in Washington to steer the remaining bailout money to particular banks. But is his oversight enough? So much of it has been given out already to banks that pleaded for the money to stay afloat, promising that that money would not fatten paychecks. But how can we be sure?
It's impossible. How could you say that $1 is meant for this and $1 meant for that? It's just a dollar.
So we're paying these bonuses?
Absolutely. I would defy them to say any different and to prove it.
Now, the finance industry maintains that the bonus pay is needed to keep good talent at the banks, particularly in these troubled times. But many ask, if you don't give the bonuses, just where else on Wall Street are these bankers going to go, Charlie?
David Muir reporting tonight, thanks to you. Internal records at a Peanut Corporation of America plant in Georgia show the company's own inspectors found a dozen instances of some type of salmonella in their plant over the last 2 years. The FDA says the company continued to ship peanut butter and peanut paste after outside lab tests came back negative. The plant is linked to the latest salmonella outbreak, which may have killed 8 people. President Obama has given his first interview since Inauguration Day, and it has gotten a lot of attention because of his choice of interviewer. He spoke to the Arab network, Al Arabiya. Mr. Obama's motive is clear: send a message to the Muslim world that, as he put it, Americans are not your enemy. What is the reaction in the Middle East? Here's Simon McGregor-Wood.
My fellow citizens,
he started on the frozen steps of the Capitol.
To the Muslim world, we seek a new way forward.
And went much further in the interview, which was broadcast throughout the Muslim world.
My job to the Muslim world is to communicate that the Americans are not your enemy. We sometimes make mistakes. The United States has a stake in the well-being of the Muslim world. I have Muslim members of my family. I have lived in Muslim countries.
To a Muslim world used to hearing you're either with us or against us, it's a sea change. He's the first president, says this Egyptian, to talk about Muslims in his first speech. And from Beirut tonight.
I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that change has actually come, honestly. I believe.
I think it's a good beginning, because first he has to listen to know what we really want, and then he can take actions.
And President Obama is trying to match the new rhetoric with deeds. All U.S. troops out of Iraq within 16 months. Guantanamo Bay to close. Immediate engagement in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And tomorrow, his Middle East peace envoy arrives in Jerusalem with this mandate.
Start by listening, because all too often the United States starts by dictating.
The president was careful to remind his Muslim audience that Israel is his close ally, and that's not going to change. But still, some Israelis are nervous.
If countries like Iran are willing to unclench their fist, they will find an extended hand from us.
I think it is a smart thing for Obama to want to dialogue with Hamas and want to dialogue with Iran. But at the same time you would talk with someone, if they come to kill you, you have to attack them back.
But raising hopes here carries its own danger.
The worst thing would be, again, to raise expectations and then create a massive sense of letdown.
The president's new language is buying goodwill where it is desperately needed. But people here are looking for results. Simon McGregor with ABC News, Jerusalem.
One other note from overseas, ABC News has learned that the Pentagon plans to step up the deployment of U.S. forces to Afghanistan. Defense Secretary Gates will present plans to the president tomorrow to send 17,000 additional troops by this summer. That is sooner than expected. Still ahead on World News, 6 boys, 2 girls, and 1 mother who plans to nurse them all. The octuplets, who are amazing doctors, and that'll be our closer look. A deadly winter storm is on the move tonight. Warnings about ice, snow, and very dangerous travel. And where your retirement money can go twice as far. Good weather, natural beauty, and affordable luxury.
This is World News with Charles Gibson, brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Lindsey Vonn takes the lead. Earlier, she was suffering from an all-over achy cold. She stays tough. How does she do it? What is that? I think we've discovered her advantage. Speedy Alka-Seltzer.
New and improved Alka-Seltzer Plus. Specially formulated now with more pain-relieving power. Rushes cold-fighting ingredients to relieve congestion, coughing, and all-over achiness. It's the official cold medicine of the U.S. ski team. Alka-Seltzer Plus. Also available in liquid gels.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. Here's a plan for America's broadband users to save $16 billion a year and $300 individually. Switch to Net Zero dial-up at $9.95 per month. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or go to netzero.com.
Discover Frisky Selects Indoor. Unlock the freshness and freedom of the outdoors for your indoor cat. Fueling an exhilarating adventure filled with delight. Each delectable entree is bursting with high-quality protein, plus wholesome grain and garden greens. Frisky Selects Indoor. Feed the senses.
Talk about a wake-up call. I had a heart attack at 57. My doctor told me I should have been doing more for my high cholesterol. What was I thinking? But now, I trust my heart to Lipitor.
When diet and exercise are not enough, adding Lipitor may help. Unlike some other cholesterol-lowering medications, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain kinds of heart surgeries if you have several common risk factors or heart disease. Lipitor has been extensively studied with over 16 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
I learned the hard way, but you may be able to do something.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
It doesn't take much to ruin a moment like this. So get Secret Clinical Strength for unbelievable protection.
8, count 'em, 8. The maternity ward of a Southern California hospital is a whirlwind of activity tonight as the staff takes care of the 8 babies just born to one woman. The extremely rare octuplets, 6 boys and 2 girls, arrived 9 weeks early. Despite being very tiny, all are doing well, but the arrival of these 8 babies does raise a lot of issues. ABC's Mike Von Fremd has our closer look.
There is no happier place than the maternity ward. And late this afternoon, doctors were thrilled to report the 8 bundles of joy are about to get their first meal.
They are kicking, and they are doing amazingly well at this time. Mom was very happy to see that all babies are doing very well at this time.
Everything about this baby story seems supersized. It took 4 delivery rooms and a team of 46 doctors and nurses to deliver the 8 babies. Sonograms led doctors to believe the mother was only carrying 7.
That was such a surprise, but with the team in place, we were able to deliver the 8th baby.
We are learning all about the babies, but we still know very little about the mother, not even her name. She's asked to remain anonymous. Doctors do describe her as strong and courageous, and with help, she wants to breastfeed all 8.
Most of the time in the beginning, we are going to use express breast milk, and we are going to feed them through a tube.
As for how the 8 babies were conceived, the hospital is not saying. But doctors we spoke with today say it's almost certain she was undergoing fertility treatment.
From the fertility standpoint, this is a very, very serious medical complication of fertility care. And we do our best, actually, to avoid it as much as possible.
The only other known set of octuplets in the United States were born a decade ago in Houston. 1 died a week after birth, but today the other 7 are thriving. The Houston parents have advice about what life is going to be like for the very big family in California.
It is overwhelming, but it's joy, because I think we were changing diapers about 70 or so every 1 or 2 hours.
Joy and a lot of work. It's estimated a new baby will go through 2,788 diapers in a year. Multiply by 8, and that's more than 20,000 diapers, all before their first birthday. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, Bellflower, California.
Overwhelming for that mother, overwhelming just to hear the story. That's our closer look. Coming up, warnings about the dangerous winter storm that's cutting across the country.
Meet me, Meg. I've got osteoporosis, but I'm an on-the-go kind of woman. So when my doctor told me about Reclast, the once-a-year IV osteoporosis treatment that can help protect me while I'm on the go for an entire year, it had Meg written all over it. My doctor said once-a-year Reclast can help re-strengthen my bones to help make them resistant to fracture for 12 months. The thing about Reclast is no other osteoporosis treatment is approved to help protect from fracture in more places. Hip, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclast if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely job problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Ask your doctor about Reclast, year-long protection for on-the-go women.
I completely understand, Dave. That's why I asked you to come in.
I've just been watching the news, following the market, and, well...
You're concerned, of course. Just don't let your emotions get in the way of your long-term goals.
Yeah, I know.
My experience in this kind of a market, we should take a look at your portfolio and make sure your investments still fit your goals.
Thanks, Bill. And thanks again for meeting so early.
Edward Jones Financial Advisors. Over 10,000 offices, one near you.
Our new island-inspired entrees are here for you at Red Lobster, like Caribbean rock lobster and shrimp, and citrus rum shrimp and scallops, both wood-fired grilled to sear in the natural juices. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
Thermacare wants to know, where does it hurt?
My aching back.
Target the pain with Thermacare Heat Wraps. Thermacare is clinically proven to deliver real heat that penetrates deep to relax tight muscles all day. Try Thermacare Heat Wraps and wear it where it hurts.
This is a Centrum multivitamin, complete from A to zinc. This is CoroWise, a natural ingredient that can lower cholesterol. Put them together and you get Centrum Cardio, the first and only complete multivitamin that can lower cholesterol. Centrum Cardio.
Oh, no! I just parked here a second ago! Give me a break, will you? No,
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles with 2 different gels for softness and support are outrageously comfortable.
On second thought, I think I'll walk.
Are you gelling? Dr. Scholl's.
Tomorrow, a scandal in the CIA, a key agent, shocking allegations of a secret life. The federal investigation begins. Don't miss this ABC News exclusive report. Brian Ross investigates tomorrow, only on World News with Charles Gibson, your trusted source.
A missing hedge fund manager suspected of massive fraud surrendered in Florida today to face charges. Arthur Nadel vanished this month after officials say he wrote a suicide note to his wife. Federal regulators say Nadel claimed his funds had assets of more than $300 million, but in truth, they were worth less than $1 million. A powerful winter storm is blanketing a wide stretch of the country tonight. It's spreading a dangerous mix of ice, snow, and sleet from Texas to the Northeast. At least 7 people have died in accidents blamed on treacherous roads. Some of the most severe weather is in Oklahoma. And ABC's Ryan Owens is in Tulsa.
It was icy and it was bedlam in Stillwater.
Oklahoma is under a state of emergency. And today the roads here looked it. Mother Nature coating these highways with a mixture of sleet, snow, and a layer of solid ice.
The snowplows are out, and I'm not sure if they're actually making it better or worse because they're kind of taking off the nice crunchy layer on top, and we've got the nice ice layer underneath.
Parts of Texas today were frozen. In Lubbock, a FedEx cargo plane crashed as it tried to land in the icy mist. Luckily, no one was hurt. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, drivers struggled. The freezing rain snapped power lines in northern Arkansas, leaving tens of thousands in the dark. And in Kentucky, trees are weighed down and homeowners are nervous.
You can see the limbs over the house are bending over there. More weight is going to take that down.
This is how far too many morning commutes ended today in Tulsa. This car is not moving anytime soon, but the storm is. It's already marching east towards even more populated areas.
As it gets towards the East Coast, if it holds up, it's going to be tapping into a lot more moisture than what we have here. That means the freezing rain will be even heavier.
It snowed most of the day in the Washington, D.C. area.
I plan on staying home tomorrow where it's a little warm and a little safer.
And much more is predicted overnight, up and down the East Coast. Here in the southern plains, temperatures are hovering in the low 20s, so the thaw may be days away. Ryan Owens, ABC News, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
The literary world has lost a legend. John Updike, the award-winning novelist, poet, essayist, and critic, died today at a hospice near his Massachusetts home.
My life has been committed to the printed book. I love the smell of them. I love the way they feel. It's the kind of object that I can really get excited about.
John Updike was a prolific man of letters, more than 50 books, and he won just about every literary prize there is. Pulitzers for 2 of his books in the Rabbit series. He called interviews a form to be loathed, but he did them on occasion, always expressing love for his craft.
So I'm hooked by books and will continue probably to be so until I die.
And so many readers for so many years have been hooked on Updike's books. He was still at work to the end, even though battling lung cancer. A new book of his short stories comes out in June. John Updike was 76. And up next, a hidden retirement gem where your money goes a very long way.
How can the oil industry in the North Sea impact fishing markets in Japan, marine legislation in the U.S., and food consumption in Italy? At T. Rowe Price, we understand the connections of a complex global economy. It's just one reason to consider our disciplined investment approach. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and more information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Serious sore throat sufferers know there's nothing stronger than Cepacol to stop sore throat pain seriously fast.
I do!
In lozenge or spray, Cepacol stops pain fast.
Bacon? Gotta get that bacon! Yummy, crunchy bacon, bacon, bacon! There in that bag!
Who wants a bacon strip?
Me! I get it myself, but I don't have thumbs! Yum, 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 it's bacon! I love you.
Bacon strips. There's no time like bacon time.
I always thought calcium and vitamin D and exercise would keep my bones healthy.
But I got osteoporosis anyway, so my doctor started me on once monthly Boniva, and he told me something important. Boniva works with your body to help stop and reverse bone loss. My test results proved I was able to stop and reverse my bone loss with Boniva. And studies show after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women did too.
Don't take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or can't sit or stand for at least 1 hour. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you have difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems. If jaw problems or severe bone, joint, and/or muscle pain develop, tell your doctor.
I've got this one body and this one life, so I wanted to stop my bone loss. But I did more than that. I reversed it with Boniva. Ask your doctor about Boniva.
Boniva helps stop and reverse bone loss.
Change your skin's look immediately with new Definity Color Recapture from Olay. Powerful anti-aging moisturizer that goes beyond wrinkles to fight age spots and discoloration meets the illuminating instant coverage of foundation. New from Olay.
Sometimes life can be, well, a little uncomfortable. But when it's hard or hurts to go to the bathroom, there's Dulcolac Stool Softener. Dulcolac Stool Softener doesn't make you go, it just makes it easier to go. Dulcolac Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
ABC Tonight, One Emergency.
Holy mackerel.
Will have these officers confronting danger head on.
Sounded like a tiger under there.
ABC's Homeland Security USA, all new tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Tomorrow, could where you use your credit card hurt your credit even when you pay your bills on time? It happened to him, and when he couldn't get the help he needed, Chris Cuomo stepped in.
Is anybody doing anything about this?
Tomorrow, see what happens when Good Morning America gets answers for you. And go to abcnews.com to get Diane, Robin, and the best of GMA on your iPhone.
Finally tonight, a better retirement for less money. Millions of Americans who've watched their IRAs and 401ks shrink have wondered how they'll keep up their lifestyle and worried about how they'll pay for the care they'll need in retirement. It turns out there is a surprisingly affordable way to do it, but it requires leaving the country. Here's Jeffrey Kaufman.
At age 76, Margie and Homer Hill aren't quite ready for a nursing home, but to stay at home, they need help. They lived in Albuquerque, where they never imagined they'd be able to afford a daily housekeeper who cooks and cleans. But here in Mexico, that luxury cost less than $100 a week.
That was one of the big factors we liked here also, is having the assistance you need at a price we could afford.
With millions of baby boomers facing retirement just as their retirement funds have been hammered, many are facing the prospect of not being able to retire in the manner they had hoped, especially if they need assistance in their later years. Mexico thinks it has a solution.
This part of our project is the assisted living area.
Developer Sergio Chazaro is getting ready to open one of the first assisted living facilities in Mexico, catering to Americans. Cielito Lindo will offer accommodation, food, and nursing care for $1,400 a month. The cost in the U.S., at least $6,000.
Being so close to the United States, it can be a very interesting thing to happen that many of them would move here for a better price, better climate.
In the picturesque city of San Miguel de Allende.
How do you feel today, baby?
Nadine Ruskin, who has Alzheimer's, gets 24-hour home nursing care and weekly house calls from a doctor for $1,000 a month. In the U.S., that would cost $13,000 a month. Assisted living is such a new concept that it is not yet regulated in Mexico.
Maybe we won't be like Miami or like Tucson in 5 years, but in 10 years, believe me.
The Hills are already believers. Their home is right next to the new assisted living facility. They know when the time comes, all they have to do is move next door. Jeffrey Kaufman, ABC News, San Miguel de Allende, Mexico.
And there will be more on Americans moving south of the border tonight. That'll be on Nightline. And that is World News for this Tuesday. I'm Charlie Gibson, and I hope you had a good day. For all of us at ABC News, have a good night.
What would you do if you saw...
Yeah! Way to go! go!
Real wedding crashers. Would you force them to leave or look the other way? Wait till you see what our hidden cameras catch.
Hold on a second. Slow down.
So the question is, what would you do?
Tonight at 10.
At Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, we have all the games you love to play and more. This January at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, our $250,000 cash exchange giveaway means Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in January are all sounding great, with $15,000 cash awarded every day, guaranteed. The game is on. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
If you've been thinking about leasing your next car, you've probably noticed that some auto companies have discontinued the practice. Not Honda. Our cars and trucks hold their value better. In fact, Honda has the highest residual value of any other car company. Just one of the reasons we can offer leasing and financing programs when others cannot. Things look a little brighter now, don't they? Honda. Simple.
Lease a 2009 Honda Civic for $189 a month for well-qualified customers.
Wheel of Fortune is next, right here on Local 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Sajak and Vanna White.
Hi, folks. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Charlie. Well, another day, another wheel. See you later. Hi. How's everybody? All right, you each have one of those as we get ready for our first toss-up. I can tell you that it's worth 1,000. It's a phrase. Kim.
Sorry.
Everybody else? Lokelani.
Let your hair down.
Yeah, that's it. Lokelani Kipili'i, right?
Yes.
Is from Hilo,
Yes,
Hawaii.
I am.
And it's good to have you with us. You are an administrative coordinator, it says.
Yes, I am.
And talk about your family a little bit.
I married my junior high school sweetheart, Eli. We've been married for 2 years, and we have a beautiful daughter, 2 years old, Grace McKenna.
Okay, and you do hula dancing.
I do.
In the traditional manner, I
Yes, I do.
All right, good for you. Nice to have you
Thank
here.
you.
This is Dave Bury, who is from Blacksburg, Virginia, going to medical school, right? Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. I'm currently a first-year student at the Virginia College of Osteopathic Medicine. I love it there. I graduated from Virginia Tech just recently, and I wanted to stay in the area.
Good. And do some volunteer work now, EMT work?
Yes, sir. I'm a EMT with the Virginia Tech Rescue Squad. I've been volunteering with them for a couple years now, and I really enjoy it.
Good going. Nice to have you with us,
Thank you.
Dave. This is Kim Hole from Auburn, Washington, a medical assistant.
Yes.
And a married medical assistant.
I am. I'm
Yeah.
married to my wonderful husband who's in the audience with me today. We've been married 4 years. I have